Sup, y'all? It's me, it's your boy Asmongold, and today we're going to be doing a 1 to 60 power leveling guide. Now, I know a lot of you guys have wanted this, and so me, you, and Tyrese is here. We're going to be going on a magical adventure around Azeroth to get to 60 as fast as we can, which is going to be, by the way, 4 to 7 hours. And I'm not using the Elixir of Ancient Knowledge, which I'll show you guys how to get in a minute. I am using full heirlooms. I'm not using any rested experience over that little bar at level 1, and I'm also being assisted by another player for a good majority of the video. Now, just so you guys know kind of the constraints that are going into this. Now, first thing I want to show you guys where to get the Elixir of Ancient Knowledge. And there's 3 different places where you can get it. The first place is over in the Timeless Isle, and you can go and buy a scroll of challenge from the Emperor Shalhao vendor, but you have to be honored with the Emperor Shalhao. Go ahead and click this rock over here, and whenever you click the rock, it's going to summon the Archerius of Flame. Now, the Archerius of Flame has a 3 to 4% chance to drop the Elixir of Ancient Knowledge, and so, while it is a pretty shitty drop chance, it's pretty easy to go ahead and kill this guy anyway. Pretty much any level 100 character shouldn't have too much trouble getting this done. Minus, like, I don't know, maybe if you're in like full greens or something like that, it might be a pain in the ass. Pretty much just make sure you don't stand in a blazing blow, and you should be pretty much good to go in killing him. He does some other stuff, but it really doesn't matter too much. So if you don't have the reputation to summon the Archerius, you can go up to the top where the Ordon Sanctuary is if you have the Legendary Cloak from Mists of Pandaria, and there's going to be 4 different locations where an Archerius of Flame can spawn up there as well, and that's where it is right there. I think you still need the Legendary Cloak. If you don't, let me know in the comments and I'll respond to it, so it's up at the top. But anyway, so you can go up there and get that done as well. And the second place that you can get the Elixir of Ancient Knowledge is over here in Dreadways, and Rare Spawn drops it named Curl the Blade, and Curl the Blade I think has about a 14% chance to drop the Elixir of Ancient Knowledge. He is a rare spawn. He's very easy to kill, and so it's kind of hard to kill to find him, and so that is kind of an annoyance. But at the same time, it's a pretty high chance of getting the item whenever you do kill him. The third place, this is where I would recommend farming, is going ahead and going over to the Draenor version of the Grand and killing the rare spawns that give you Steam Mineral Preservation Society reputation, and each one of them is going to give you as a possibility that they will drop a partially digested bag. Inside that partially digested bag, there's a chance it will have an Elixir of Ancient Knowledge. While it is a chance on a chance, it's still a pretty good, it's probably the best chance that you've got, honestly, because it's really kind of hard to find Curl the Blade, and the Archerius of Flame is like 3%, so good luck at that. So from 1 to 10, this is what you're going to be doing. You're going to be killing bears in the forest. Actually, you know what? We'll kill, not even up to bears, okay? Not even up to bears. Wolves in the forest, okay? Honestly, guys, I'm not going to go through all the different quests because I'm pretty sure you guys can handle getting to level 10. I know a lot of people have, and so I'm not really going to worry about that too much. What we're getting up to 10 to do is 10 is where you can zone in a Dead Mines. Dead Mines is going to be the first dungeon that we're going to be doing, but until then, just pretty much do quests by yourself. It's actually probably more efficient to just do them solo. Killing these mobs is very easy to do, and honestly, having somebody helping you do it who's a higher level will probably hurt you more than it will help you. This should take you about 30 minutes, and if you use an Elixir of Ancient Knowledge, I would recommend using it at probably at level 21. That would be my recommendation for when to use your 1 hour elixir. But something that you need to know about the elixir is that it will. I'm trying to think of a way to put this. Sorry, I lost my train of thought. It will go away if you die. And so if you die and you have the Elixir of Ancient Knowledge, you'll lose the buff. And so that kind of sucks, but it's not like the Draenor, like 90 to 100 potion. So that kind of, it's whatever, but just make sure that you're very careful whenever you have it on. Anyway, before I really get into this too much more, I want to say right now, shout out to my boy Nasty Nelber right here with me here, and also at the end of the video, my other boy Alexia. Thank you so much, guys. I really appreciate your help with doing this video. Last night we finished our raid, and like I finished my raid. I made this this character, and I just went big dick all night into the morning. Got this shit done. Actually, I was going to put this video out yesterday, but my video editor crashed, and I wasn't able to. And so anyway, we did this all in one night, and that's why there was no rest of the experience. And so thanks a lot, guys, for helping me with that. Really ran it a lot faster, and made probably. I would say, this is going to be a pretty good, pretty informative guide, I think, in my opinion. And anyway, so after you get to level 10, that's whenever things really start to speed up. This is kind of just like, getting up to the position where you're able to. And another thing that's like really important with the leveling process here I want to show you is make sure that you kill Hogger, okay? Because, he's been a thorn in Stormwind's side for 11 years, okay? And you know what? Like, just not going to happen anymore, okay? And so make sure you kill him get him into stockades, and we're actually going to go back for round 2 and kill him later on, again in the stockades. I think I put that clip in here, but I forgot. So then you get level 10. Good job, you did it. So at this point, what you're going to be doing is you're going to be going over the dead mines. And you do need a level 100 character or a higher level character in order to do this for you. If you don't, then you can queue for it whenever you're higher level. You can't queue for it at 10. You can only zone into the dungeon at 10. There's some, like each dungeon, you have to actually get up to a certain level to even zone into it. And there's another level that you have to be in order to actually queue for it. And so really, like, you can kind of step all of this video back just a few levels to where you can actually queue for it instead of actually zone into it if you want to do this by yourself, because the dungeon leveling is the fastest way of doing this. So what my buddy here is going to do is he's going to round up all the different mobs in this area, and this video, I think this method was showed to me by I think some people on Kel'Thuzad, and so thanks for that, guys. And so I've seen this before. I don't think really a lot of people know about it though. And so what you can do is you can round up all the different mobs here. He's not hitting them at all. He's not doing any damage to them at all. And he's going to round all of them up, and he's going to put them right where that X is. Now, I'm going to get into Defias cannon here. Make sure you don't kill it, by the way, because you can't actually damage the cannon. And as soon as I get in the cannon, I'm going to go ahead and as soon as he gets the mobs, put up there as a big pile of them, and then I'm going to leave the group, and I'm going to kill all of the mobs out of the group. And I'm not going to get aggro, because whenever you do damage with the cannon, it doesn't give you aggro. And so right there, as you guys can see, and there they all are. And so I'm going to leave the group, and I'm going to kill all of them with the cannon, not get aggro. Make sure that you are out of the group whenever you kill them. And the reason for that is if you're not out of the group, then you're just not going to get really even close to as much experience as you're going to get. And so, like, look at my experience bar go up. See, all right, I mean, like, let's be honest, guys. Like, okay, let's just be honest with each other. Like, I mean, that was like kind of a limp dick pull. Okay, like, come on. So I'm going to show you guys a couple better ones, and then we're going to go on to the next step. And so what we did after this is we would kill, he'd round up everything from the first area up to the first boss, and then he'd kill the first boss and round up everything from the second boss, and we'd do all the trash from this first and second boss all together. And so this is going to be a lot more satisfying here. And so this is everything up to the second boss, and or not. Well, I guess it wasn't the first boss stuff too, but it's in between the first and second boss trash. And I already got like 2 levels out of that. We got like one cannonball hit is like an entire level, and so this is how efficient that is. And so if you put those two pulls together, you can save even more time. And see, as you guys saw there, I invited him to group a little bit early, and I only got 48 experience instead of the full amount. And so what I'm going to be doing here is, so after you do that, those first 2 pulls, or the first big pull if you're going to do it, and that's what I would recommend, is doing it all as one pull. Just make sure you watch out for your cleave, by the way, if you're the person carrying the lower level player. Is what you want to do is kill the second boss, go through, kill all the trash in between the second and the third boss, kill the third boss, and then pull all the trash from the third boss, and then go all the way to the top of the boat and pull everything on the boat all the way around the boat. Do not pull the boss. So look, all right, by the way, you're going to have to deal with some parrots, okay, some little birds. Okay, so if like the bird pecking you is going to kill you, maybe you should play a different class, okay, because you're probably not good at the one you're playing. So, but either way, you shouldn't have too much trouble killing these birds. They're like non-elite, and as you guys can see, I'm not really having too much trouble. Character is in full heirloom, so by the way. And so he's rounding up everything up there, and so then what he's going to be doing is as soon as he gets everything, he's going to jump down. Now, sometimes these cannons at the bottom will not be active, and if that happens, just go up to the top and use the ones up there. It just takes a little bit more maneuvering, and sometimes I just take the long way around the boat there to save time. And this is the big pull. Like, this is it right here. So like, check this shit out. And so again, make sure that you leave the party, and that's the really important part. Like, that's the main thing that makes this work really well. And so I'll show you guys. So right now I'm level 12. Okay, just so y'all know. I think I open up my character screen in a second here so you guys can actually see what's happening. And all right, so check this shit out. All right, 12, 14. Was it? I think they take level 13 out of the game. They took it out of the game. Maybe it's bad luck or something like that. I didn't even get to level 13. I just went straight to 14. Okay, and so that's how efficient this is. By the way, after you do all this, make sure you actually go all the way up and clear the instance. And the reason for that is in 6.0 they added a new like kind of incentivization of actually completing the instances where you're going to get bonus experience from completing them. And so you want to go ahead and complete all of the instances that you do, and that's really what we're going to be looking for. And then also at the same time looking for bonus objectives in the instance that we can also get more experience from as well. And so whenever you actually complete the deadlines, you're going to get a huge amount of experience just from that as well. And so you're going to be doing deadlines all the way up until you're level 21. And then at that point, we're going to be going into Scarlet Halls. Now, Scarlet Halls is you have to be level 26 in order to queue for it in the random dungeon finder, and so be aware of that. But if what do you call it? If you've got somebody carrying you, you can just do it at level 21, and you're going to be doing that, I think, all the way up to level 30. But until you get up to 21, because at 21, it really kind of starts to slow down, honestly, and so there it is. So I almost got an entire level just from completing the dungeon there, and so that's kind of a indication of how lucrative it is to actually complete these dungeons and keep going. And so here I am. I'm level 21, and so you guys saw last time I went up almost 2 or 3 levels just from completing that one thing. But here I'm gonna hardly even go up. I think I went up like 60% of level. So even though that's very, very good, we're not really looking for very good. We're looking for what's best. And so look at this. So I'm doing pretty well, and I'm about to kill them all. And again, make sure that, by the way, you regroup before the instance timer goes all the way down. You've got 1 minute to kill the mobs, which should be more than enough. But just FYI. And then you just re-invite your friend. Reason for that is because if you don't do that, obviously, you're just not going to get as much stuff. Oh, and look at that. You got a parrot. Got a parrot to boot. All right. And so after you get level 21, there are a couple of other things that you can do. We tried doing stockades. And like this is kind of like a work in progress throughout the video. And then I kind of like went back and decided like, okay, what's the best way of doing this? You might want to do stockades like once to do the quests and stuff. And so I killed him. I got a pretty good amount of experience just from completing that dungeon. Really good, but again, stockades is such a fast dungeon. There are no bonus objectives, so you're not getting any bonus experience. I wouldn't really say it's really that worth doing, especially more than once, honestly, because after you do the quest, you're not going to really get much out of it at all. And so anyway, I wanted to make sure that I add that in there. And then also, there's another dungeon you can do. And I know, like, I mean, guys, if you started playing in like Vanilla or in Burning Crusade, this might give you a little bit of PTSD. But Gnomergan, okay. And what you want to do is you can take the backdoor entrance into Gnomergan, and what that'll do is that'll allow you to go right to the last boss and kill him and get completion experience. And Gnomergan also has 3 easy to get bonus objectives. But I wouldn't really recommend doing that. It's like if you can, like you can queue for Gnomergan. That would really be the only time that I would do it if you don't have somebody else with you. But if you do have somebody else with you, as soon as you get to level 21, I would recommend going straight to Scarlet Halls here. Now, here's the first bonus objective you guys can see, and also pick up the quest, by the way. Make sure to pick up the quest as soon as you're able to, rather than right as you leave, because the quest will give you a lot less experience right whenever you're leaving than whenever you pick them up from the beginning. So the bonus objective there is killing Armsmaster Harwin, for example. And so just by killing him, I'm going to get a whole lot of extra experience that I wouldn't have gotten if it wasn't that bonus objective. So it's like just more bonus experience just from like walking over into a room and hitting one button, right? And so that's like one run. That was one run of Scarlet Halls. I didn't want to show you guys the whole thing. I think you can kind of believe me when I say that we completed it. And so anyway, this is probably the most efficient way to get from level 21 to 30. Now, we also tried Scarlet Monastery. Now, Scarlet Monastery was okay, but realistically, I wouldn't really recommend it because, for one, it's got like this really weird quest that I had trouble completing, and also it has no bonus objectives. While it is a little bit higher level, I just don't really find it's worth it because you get so much extra from just that one bonus objective of killing Armsmaster Harwin. It's just not really a very efficient way of doing it. So you want to be doing this all the way up to level 30. Now, whenever you get up to 30, you can queue for other dungeons. Like I did like Razorfin Downs a couple of times, and that was like really kind of a waste of time. And I think I did another one, but I don't even remember. But I just went back and we ended up doing this all the way up to 30. Now, whenever you get up to 30, what you want to do is you want to go to Uldaman. Uldaman, this is if you're getting carried. I think you have to be 35 in order to queue for Uldaman, though. And so you want to do Uldaman all the way up to level 37. And the reason for that is 37 is what's going to allow you to go into, not Shattered Halls, Strathlum. Strathlum. And Strathlum is going to be probably the best place to level out of all of these different... Well, actually, I mean, I don't know. Like, Uldaman is really, really good because you're going to be going through the dungeon, and the dungeon is very, in a way, it's linear. Like, it's not really very linear, but it's kind of linear. And so you can do 3 of the bonus objectives when they're right along the way, and also you're going to be able to complete the dungeon itself. And so look at the amount of experience that I have right now, and I just want to show you guys just kind of what it looks like just doing one run. So this is just one run of Uldaman. And you can look at the clock there and see how long it takes. And so I've already got that much experience just in completing it. And this is with an actual group, by the way, and so it would have been even faster. if I was doing it with a with somebody carrying me. And so I got one level right there just from actually doing the dungeon. And I think that was I'm 37 now or something like that. Yeah, 37. And so I'm going to turn in all the quests here, and you guys will see that too. And so, fun fact, by the way, is if you complete these dungeons and you don't want to go all the way back, you can teleport out of the dungeon and then teleport back in, and that's going to put you at the beginning of the dungeon, and then you can turn in the quest very, very easily, and you won't have to run all the way back. And that, obviously, again, this is just about saving time. And so this whole run, I don't know if I said this, this whole run, like from 1 to 60, took me 6 hours. I spent about 1 hour of that AFK, honestly. But besides that, it was pretty much playing, and this was like, it wasn't really the best run. Like, if I was to go back and do this again, I think I could cut it all the way down to like 4 hours or maybe even less than that. And I would probably be able to do it in 2 or less than that if I had the Elixirs of Ancient Knowledge. So here you've got 4 bonus objectives, which is good. But in Strathlum is going to be, this is where like things really start to pick up. And it's all about like kind of maximizing this stuff. And so if you have another dungeon that has a lot of bonus objectives in it, you might want to do that one too. I went around and kind of looked for the other ones that gave a lot of different credit for different stuff, but I didn't really find any that were more worthwhile than the ones that I'm doing here. And if they were more worthwhile, there was already something else that was kind of like that you're already doing in the process, and so it's not really too efficient to do. So after you finish that, you get to level 37, and you guys see I almost got almost a whole another level just from turning in the quest from doing Old Man once. You should really only have to do Old Man maybe like 3 or 4 times to get from 30 to 37 though, just because of how many mobs there are, how many bonus objectives and everything else like that. So now I'm 37, finally able to zone into Strathlum. We also tried Skullmonts. Skullmonts is a waste of time. Don't go into Skullmonts. Look at that. Was it 7 bonus objectives? So 7 bonus, each one is going to give me 6,000 experience. And so what's 6 times 7? A lot, okay? And so, just make sure that you know that. And again, it's just all about, as I said, like, so, all right, I'm 37 right now, you're going to see, and we actually missed one of the bonus objectives. And so I want to tell you guys this right now. In order to actually get the, we call it the postmaster, there's like some different mailboxes around, and you click on the mailboxes, and you have to click on 3 different mailboxes in order to summon the postmaster. And so make sure that you're aware of that, because again, it's just literally 3 clicks for 6,000 experience, and so it's very, very efficient. So you want to be doing this all the way up to 47, and at 47, we're going to be doing Blackrock Depths, and I think a lot of you guys probably know how to do the 47 to 57, but I'll show you guys that as well. And so again, just kind of go around here and clear everything out. And again, this is all one run. And so I'm already, what level am I now? I'm 38 or 39, something like that. I'm 39. And so I've already gotten an entire level. And so I'm going to get another level on top of that. And so, I mean, like, you guys can see pretty much how this is going to work. And I would say it's probably going to take you like probably 5 or 6, maybe 7 runs of Strathlum to get this done. And you can only do 10 runs an hour. And so just because an instance is really fast doesn't really mean that it's the most efficient one to do. Because again, like, you don't really want to instance cap out. And also on top of that, Strathlum has like 5 different quests that you can do. And so you're just going to be doing, you're going to be getting all these bonus objectives, all the quests, and then the completion experience, and all of the different bonus objectives are right along the way. And so there's like that guy right next to the last boss. So easy to do. This is probably my favorite part of the entire leveling process. It is kind of a pain in the ass to run back because you have all these mobs that spawn at the end, but it's really not too big of a deal. And so that's like almost, what, like 3 levels in one run, and I didn't even do the quest. And so here I am at 47, and you guys can see the clock. We pretty much did these non-stop, and at 47 it unlocks Blackrock Depths Detention Block. Now this is where you can queue for this yourself, and you actually have to queue for it to yourself. You can't really have somebody carry you, and the reason for that, what that's going to do is you're going to queue for this detention block, and you're going to be spamming the detention block all the way up to 57. Okay, well actually 58, but until you get to 58, you spam queue it. And each run is going to take you about, it was taking us, like, because I was like really like getting like crazy efficient with it, is it took us like a minute and a half really to do the entire run. And then, so you go ahead and you zone in, you click on this little mole machine, you click on just past the Grim Guzzler. And what we did here, be very careful with doing this, is you pull that mob up at the top on the other side, and they're going to run all the way down to you. And in the process of them running down, go ahead and kill the first boss, Lord Incendius, and so you're going to kill him, and then as everything is running to you, so you're just waiting for it to run you now, but you want to kill him before it gets to you, and then it's going to probably pull the other boss that you're trying to get, and so you're going to have a big pack of trash that you have to deal with. And so be careful, like if your group isn't ready for this, you might want to pull it one at a time, but sometimes people can accidentally pull the pack on the other side anyway, and so just be aware of that as well. So if it does pull, don't pull the other boss, and you might need to deal with a lot of AoE and a lot of damage here. So make sure you have a good tank or healer. If you're doing this with the experience potion, be very careful, and also probably want to be doing that with a group if you are doing it with the experience potion, because it would really suck to like I've died a few times in here as well. Like look at that, like I think like half my gear is broken. It doesn't matter, but it's still kind of a pain in the ass. And so like this is just one run, so one run is taking this long, and so it's very, very good. Make sure to interrupt that holy light. Like it's like a full heal or something like that. I mean, it doesn't really matter, but it's just more things to kind of save time. And so you guys should kind of know that. Other than that, so you pretty much want to do this all the way up to 57. And this is really kind of, just re-queue. So as soon as you finish this, you get the completion experience because you just killed the two bosses that are required for doing this instance. So as soon as you do this, you just re-queue and you do the same thing again, and you just do it again and again and again and again. And honestly, this was like the fastest part of it. I mean, there were like some real idiots in here that I had to play with, and so it took us a little bit longer. But honestly, if I had a group full of people who knew what they were doing, it probably would have taken me like a half hour. Honestly, probably like a half hour to get from 47 to 57 with doing this method. And at 58, you can no longer queue for this. And so at 58, we're going to be going over to ramparts. But I just kind of wanted to show you guys the method of doing this. And be very careful, again, I want to say this again, be very careful whenever you're jumping down that you don't aggro the pack on the other side unless you're trying to like we are, just because you get this huge pack of mobs, and if you're not really ready for it or you're fighting the other boss, it could be really kind of hard to deal with. And so this is probably the most efficient way. Like I saw this on YouTube before, and I think I saw like Bajura doing this, and also I've seen some videos before that as well. And so I think this is a pretty commonly known leveling method. But I did want to show you guys this because it is the most efficient way, which is probably why it's so commonly known. And so, I mean, really, like, this is mostly about, like, kind of getting people who know what they're doing, because there's a lot of people who I was doing this with who were, I mean, like, they're pretty much just clueless, and they didn't really know what they're doing, and they were just running around and dying, and so that kind of sucked, but whatever. So I wanted to show you guys just myself hitting level 58, and then we'll go over to Hellfire Ramparts, which is going to be the last place that we're going to be going to. Now, you can actually queue for Hellfire Ramparts at 58, and so if you don't have somebody running you, it's still going to be pretty efficient to do. So I just wanted to let you guys know that as well. And so there I am. I think it's level 58. Yeah, level 58. So you can queue for Hellfire Ramparts, but it was kind of taking me a while. And like since like I literally had a belt, I had like a belt that was broken here, and it was a level 1 belt. It was like the Northshire cloth belt, and it had 1 armor. And so, like my tanking gear wasn't really very good. And so it was kind of a pain in the ass to tank it because I have to kite things around. And so I was like, you know what? So this is when my buddy, as I was talking about before, my buddy Alexia came in there and gave me a couple of runs. Each run from Hellfire Ramparts took me about, well, that's where I started at the beginning of this run. And so at about 14, I think was that like 14% or something like that. And so you also get the quest too. Make sure, again, pick up the quest. It's a little bit of a little bonus. There are no real bonus objectives in Hellfire Ramparts, but it's pretty much the only instance that you can queue for at level 58. That's a Burning Crusade instance. And it's pretty straightforward, and it's very quick. And also, you don't have the 10 instance lockout limit if you're queuing through the dungeon finder, so that's a little fun fact as well. And so there's the end of the instance, and that's about as much as the experience I had, and I haven't even turned into quests yet. I think I cut out, like, I've cut this video like 3 or 4 times. It used to be like 40 minutes long, but I cut down a lot of it just because it's kind of redundant and not really very important. I think you guys can pretty much understand. So I that dropped, right? And so it was a 1,828% upgrade. And by the way, it's a pawn add-on. And so I was like, oh my God, that's it. I'm going to finally be able to replace my level 1 belt that's actually red. Doesn't even matter, what armor it has. That's 0. But I was able to replace that, but then it was level 60. So I was like, what's the point? Because the video ends at 60. By the way, I want to say something else. Do you guys want me to do a level 60 to 70 version? Like, I mean, that'll be real quick. It'll probably be like a 5-minute video. But if you guys want me to do that, let me know. I know a lot of people have been getting into this twinking thing, and so boom, there it is. Was it your boy Tyresus level 60? And so I was really happy. And again, like, what time is that? Like, I was up until like 9 in the morning doing this, including the editing and everything. And so that's what it takes. And I know a lot of people have been getting into twinking, and so this is really, that's the most efficient way of doing it. So again, I'm going to kind of go over everything. 1 to 10, you just kill bears. 10 to 21, dead mines. 21 to 30 is going to be scarlet halls. 30 to 37, Uldaman. 37 to 47, Strathlum, and 47 to 57 is going to be, or 58 really, is going to be the detention block, the queuing for that, and then 58 to 60 is going to be the Hellfire Ramparts. And so guys, that's really all it takes. You can switch it up as much as you want, especially if you're you don't have somebody carrying you, and you can just queue for the other dungeons. But this is the most efficient way of leveling, and hopefully you enjoyed, hopefully you learned something, and hopefully this is what you guys were looking for. And so that's pretty much all I've got, and thanks for watching, and like, comment, subscribe.